The sky should have been dark that morning, gray clouds, heavy rain, something to match the weight in my chest. Instead, the sun shone with quiet indifference, lighting the cemetery in soft gold, as though it were any ordinary day and not the morning I buried my wife of 42 years. Elena had always loved sunshine. She said it made the world honest. But today the brightness felt cruel, like the world was mocking my grief. I tightened my grip on the edges of her casket, letting my fingers linger against the cool wood. The funeral workers waited patiently, giving me time. After a lifetime with her, a few extra minutes felt like a mercy, but also a torment. No amount of time would feel like enough. People began gathering around me. Friends, neighbors, cousins, co-workers' faces blurred by tears. They greeted me with soft voices, gentle hands on my shoulders, and eyes heavy with sympathy. I tried to smile, tried to respond graciously, but my words kept dying in my throat. Then I saw *them*. Nathan and Leela, my son, walked with measured steps, eyes downcast. He wore a black suit, though the sleeves were slightly rumpled, as if he'd thrown it on last minute. He looked tired but not devastated, not the way a son should look at his mother's funeral. And then there was Leela. She stepped out from behind him, sun, light catching the fabric of her dress, ***, a bright coral color, ***, bold, loud, and painfully cheerful amidst the dark, muted tones of grief. Her heels clicked sharply against the pavement. Every head turned. A ripple of confusion passed through the group. She acted as though she didn't notice. She lifted her chin, adjusted her sunglasses, and gave a small, satisfied smile, like she was arriving at a weekend brunch instead of a burial. Nathan leaned toward her to whisper something, but she spoke first, her voice low yet perfectly audible to anyone nearby. ***, this day is like a holiday. ***, she said, a holiday at my wife's funeral. My hands went cold. My heart thudded painfully as though trying to force the words away. I stared at her, disbelief tightening my throat. Surely she didn't mean it. Surely I had misheard. But then she laughed, a soft, breathy sound that made my stomach turn. Nathan didn't correct her. He didn't recoil or look horrified. He simply gave her a tiny nod as if he agreed. My breath caught. Elena had always told me to trust my instincts, but right then I wished I couldn't. Because my instincts told me something was very, very wrong with my son, and the woman he had chosen. They made their way toward me. Leela's steps were light and confident, the hem of her bright dress swaying with each motion like a careless flame. Her perfume, sugary and overpowering, reached me before she did. When she arrived, she pressed a hand dramatically to her chest. "Oh, Mark," she said, tilting her head in practiced sympathy, "I'm so terribly sorry for your loss. Elena was lovely, was, past tense. Too easily spoken. Before I could respond, she reached out and squeezed my arm as though I was fragile enough to break at her touch. The gesture was wrong, cold, artificial. Nathan hugged me next, arms loose around my shoulders. His face pressed briefly against mine. "Dad, I'm sorry, really," but his voice lacked weight. It sounded like someone apologizing for being late to a dinner, not someone mourning his mother. For a flickering moment, anger swallowed my grief. I pushed it down. This wasn't the time. Elena deserved peace today, not my anger. As the ceremony began, I tried to focus on the pastor's words, tried to soak in the quiet hymns Elena loved. But every time I looked up, that bright coral dress seared against the backdrop of black, gray, and solemn blue. It didn't belong there. It didn't belong anywhere near my wife's memory. I caught glimpses of Leela's expression during the eulogies. She looked impatient, bored even. She checked her phone twice, hiding it in her lap like a child trying to sneak a toy in class. At one point, she whispered something in Nathan's ear and stifled a chuckle, chuckle, during the song that played at our wedding. My hands clenched at my sides. After the pastor spoke, a few people shared memories of my wife, our neighbor, her childhood friend, a former coworker. Their stories painted the portrait of a woman full of kindness, humor, and quiet strength, a woman who deserved reverence, not mockery. When it was my turn to speak, I walked slowly to the podium, heart hammering in my chest. My Alina, I began, voice shaking. She was the best part of me. The words cracked apart. I swallowed hard, steadying myself. She gave me a home before we even had a house. She taught me how to love without fear, how to forgive, how to live. I paused, catching my breath, letting the memories wash over me. Her hand in mine, her laughter echoing through the kitchen, the way she'd hum softly when she baked bread on Sundays. She deserved the world, I whispered. Across the gathering, Leela yawned. A few people saw. Their faces tightened. Mine went numb. When the ceremony ended and the casket was lowered, I stepped forward alone, placing the final white rose atop the polished wood. My fingers lingered. Goodbye, my love. I murmured, I'll carry you with me. I felt a pressure in my chest, as though grief itself were sitting upon my ribs. As the crowd dispersed, offering hugs and murmured condolences, Nathan and Leela approached me once more. We'll stop by the house this week, Nathan said. You know to help with things. Leela smiled sweetly, but her eyes flicked around, assessing, calculating. Yes, we'll help however we can, and well, if you ever want to downsize, we can talk. You shouldn't have to manage everything alone now. There was something sharp beneath her tone. A hint of eagerness she couldn't hide. The words twisted in my stomach. I nodded without committing to anything. We'll see. As they walked away, laughing softly about something I couldn't hear, I stood in the silence of the fading afternoon, staring after them. And in that moment, grief-stricken, exhausted, and heartbroken, I felt another emotion coil inside me, *** suspicion. Hurt and the first spark of understanding. ***, something was wrong in my family, and Elena, even in death, might be the one who would expose it. Below is *** Chapter 2, Memories, Money, and Masks ***, expanded into a *** long, emotional, dramatic chapter *** around 4,0,0,0,5,0,0 characters. If you'd like it even longer, I can continue expanding it. *** Chapter 2, Memories, Money, and Masks ***, grief settles into a home the way dust does quietly at first, then all at once. By the end of the first week, without Elena, I realized that every corner of our house ached with her absence. Her scarf on the sofa, her teacup still on the shelf, the faint scent of lavender on her pillow. Every detail felt like a whisper of what used to be. But as the days crawled forward, something else began creeping into my life, uninvited and unwelcome. ***, Nathan and Leela's sudden interest. ***, they visited again 3 days after the funeral. Before the doorbell even finished ringing, I felt a strange tightening in my chest, an instinctual warning, the way animals sense an approaching storm. I opened the door to find Leela holding a bakery box, and Nathan carrying a stack of papers. Leela stepped inside like she owned the place, eyeing the decor, the furniture, the artwork Elena and I had collected over decades. "This house is just so big," she said, running her fingers along the banister. "It must be overwhelming for you now, being alone." "I'm doing all right," I replied. "Of course you are," she chirped, but her smile didn't reach her eyes. "Still, maybe it's time to consider your options." Nathan cleared his throat. "Leela," she ignored him. "We brought pastries," she announced, placing the box on the table. "And Nathan thought it'd be good to help you go through some of the paperwork. You know, organize things. Make sure nothing gets missed." She said it lightly, but I heard the undertone. I nodded slowly. "There's no hurry." Leela smiled in a way that made my skin crawl. "Oh, but closure is important for all of us." Hash 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 asterisk asterisk, the first crack in the mask, asterisk asterisk, they settled at the kitchen table. Nathan rifled through old mail while Leela pretended to wipe the counter but really kept peeking at my drawers, at the photos on the fridge, at anything that might give her a sense of what she imagined was soon to be hers. When she wasn't looking, I saw Nathan checking his phone repeatedly, each time with a flicker of anxiety. At one point he wandered into the hallway to take a call, thinking I couldn't hear him, but grief sharpens a man. And I heard everything. Yes, Mom's will is being read soon. No, I don't know details. Yes, I'm sure there's something significant. Leela thinks. No, I'm not asking Dad. Not yet. Leela thinks. Those two words echoed in my mind. When he came back inside, he avoided my eyes. Hash 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 asterisk asterisk. The second visit asterisk asterisk. 2 days later, they returned. This time with scented candles and a stack of brochures. Retirement communities, Leela announced cheerfully. Just some options, lovely places, indoor pools, group activities, everything. I stared at her. I'm not going anywhere. Oh, of course not asterisk now asterisk, she said, waving a dismissive hand. But eventually you'll want something easier. Nathan looked embarrassed. Dad, we're only thinking of what might be best for you. But the tone lacked sincerity. It was performative, strained. Your mother wanted you to be comfortable. I said quietly, that doesn't mean pushing me out of my house. Nathan flinched. Leela opened her mouth, but Nathan cut her off. Leela, enough. Her lips tightened. She didn't argue, but I could see irritation brewing beneath her polished exterior. They left after an hour, but not before Leela accidentally wandered into my bedroom under the pretense of looking for the bathroom. Her eyes had scanned the jewelry box on Alina's dresser. I saw it in her face. Hunger, hash 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 asterisk asterisk, the third visit, the conversation I wasn't meant to hear asterisk asterisk. 2 days later, they were back again. This time they brought dinner, or rather, they brought takeout containers that smelled more like convenience than comfort. Leela served herself first. Mark, she said brightly, the lawyer called you earlier, right? Something about Friday. Is that when the will is being read? Her voice was sweet, but her eyes were sharp and gleaming. Yes, I said simply, Friday. She broke into a smile so wide it bordered on grotesque. Oh, finally, we can wrap everything up. Nathan nudged her under the table. Leela, what? She snapped in a whisper. We've been waiting. My stomach twisted. I excused myself to refill my water. As I passed by the pantry door, I heard their voices hushed, but not enough. Why aren't you more excited? Leela hissed. This could change everything for us. I don't know if Mom left us anything, Nathan muttered. Of course she did, Leela argued. She loved you, and she knew you have responsibilities, a future to build, a family to plan. Nathan sighed. It feels wrong to talk like this. Dad just lost her. People die. She said coldly, life goes on, and when they leave something behind, it's for the living. Nathan didn't respond. Leela leaned closer. You said she had savings, a house, investments. She wouldn't just let all that sit. She knew we needed help. I felt my breath still. Leela's voice dropped even lower. And if your dad tries to keep everything, we'll remind him what she asterisk would have wanted asterisk. He's vulnerable right now. My blood ran cold. I stepped out before I could hear more. Grief had nearly broken me, but anger was slowly knitting me back together. Hash 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 asterisk asterisk flashbacks of a woman who knew asterisk asterisk that night. After they left, I sat at the kitchen table alone, the untouched takeout cooling beside me. The house felt hollow without Elena's presence, but her memory filled the silence. I remembered a conversation we had months ago. It was during one of her harder days, when her illness had just begun to show its cruel hand. She looked at me with gentle but tired eyes. Mark, she said, her voice faint, I've been thinking about the will. I frowned. Don't, we're not discussing that. But she reached for my hand. I need you to hear me, she whispered. It's Nathan I worry about him. He's just overwhelmed. I told her. Life responsibilities. But she shook her head. No, he's changed. He thinks in numbers now, in possessions, and Leela, she brings out the part of him I always prayed wouldn't grow. She squeezed my hand with surprising strength. Promise me you'll protect what's left of us. I didn't understand then. But I did now. I didn't know what she'd written in her will. She kept that private, saying only, asterisk asterisk, I'll make sure everything ends up where it belongs. Asterisk asterisk, hash hash hash, asterisk asterisk, the call from the lawyer, asterisk asterisk, on Thursday night. The lawyer called again. Just a reminder. Mr. Carver said gently, tomorrow at 10. The reading may take a while. I suggest preparing yourself emotionally. I swallowed. Was it complicated? Your wife was a very thoughtful woman. He replied carefully. She made her intentions extremely clear. A strange chill ran through me. After we hung up, I sat in the dimness of the living room, staring at the framed wedding photo on the mantel. Elena, smiling in the sunlight, looking at me like I was her whole world. In that photo, her eyes held a secret sparkle, like she always knew a little more than everyone else. And suddenly I realized something. Elena saw what was coming, and she had prepared for it. As I went to bed that night, I felt grief, but I also felt something new. Not quite anger, not quite resolve, something in between, something sharp, something protective. Because whatever my wife had planned in that will, asterisk asterisk, it wasn't going to be what Nathan and Leela expected. Asterisk asterisk, the next morning arrived with an air of heavy finality. I barely slept the night before, my thoughts circling like crows over a field, always returning to one truth. Asterisk asterisk, Elena had seen something I hadn't. And today her voice would speak again, through the will. Asterisk asterisk, I dressed slowly, adjusting my tie twice before deciding it didn't matter. Nothing mattered, not clothing, not appearances, except honoring her wishes, whatever those wishes were. When I reached the lawyer's office, I was early. The building's lobby smelled faintly of old books, and cedar polish. Elena had always loved that smell. I sat there in the quiet, hands clasped, staring at the elevator doors as if they could somehow reveal what was coming. At exactly 9:53 a.m. the elevator dinged. Nathan and Leela stepped out. Nathan looked pale and nervous, his tie crooked as if he'd put it on in a rush. He kept wringing his hands, glancing around like a guilty man expecting judgment. Leela, on the other hand, she walked with the confidence of someone about to pick up a prize. She wore another eye-catching outfit today, a shimmering ivory top, gold earrings, and a smile that could slice through steel. She even had a new handbag, the kind Elena would have called a purse for someone who thinks life is a shopping spree. Mark, she chirped, giving a quick, almost perfunctory hug. Ready for today, her tone implied excitement, anticipation. I nodded stiffly. Let's just get through it. Nathan avoided my eyes, staring at the carpet. Hash 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 asterisk asterisk, the lawyer's office asterisk asterisk. We followed the hallway to Mr. Carver's office. The door bore his name in gold lettering, a name I had trusted for decades. He'd helped us buy our house, manage business paperwork, even looked over the documents when Elena and I set up our retirement accounts. He stood as we entered. Mark, Nathan, Mrs. Hughes. Leila beamed too brightly. Good morning. He did not return the brightness. We sat around a polished mahogany table. Sunlight filtered through the blinds, leaving stripes across the surface, across our hands, across the thick envelope in front of Mr. Carver, an envelope bearing my wife's handwriting. My stomach tightened. Thank you all for coming. Mr. Carver began. Elena updated her will 3 months before her passing. She asked me to carry out her wishes strictly. That word asterisk asterisk, strictly asterisk asterisk, made Leela stiffen. Well, she said lightly, we trust Elena made fair decisions. Mr. Carver adjusted his glasses. Let us begin. Hash 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 asterisk asterisk, the will asterisk asterisk. He opened the envelope and unfolded several pages. The rustling sounded louder than it should have, almost ominous. Asterisk I, Elena Hughes, asterisk, he read, asterisk being of sound mind and full clarity, set forth the distribution of my estate as follows, asterisk. Leela leaned forward eagerly. Mr. Carver continued. To my beloved husband, Mark Hughes, I leave our home, our lakeside cabin, all financial accounts we built together, my share of the business, and all personal belongings of sentimental or monetary value. My breath caught. She left everything. I hadn't expected that. Leela blinked, then blinked again. Wait, that's practically the entire estate, she said, her voice sharp. Mr. Carver nodded politely, but continued reading. I trust my husband to use these resources wisely and distribute them as he sees fit to those who earn his trust and respect. Leela's jaw dropped. Nathan looked like the floor had tilted under him. Mr. Carver moved on without hesitation. To my son, Nathan Hughes, I leave a sealed letter, written with love and honesty. It is to be opened in the presence of my husband and my attorney. A letter. No money, no property, just a letter. Leela made a strangled noise. You must be. This has to be. Is there an addendum? She demanded. Asterisk supplement asterisk. Something. Mr. Carver shook his head. No, Mrs. Hughes. This asterisk is asterisk the will. Her face flushed an angry shade of red. This is insane. She knew we were planning a family. She knew we were counting on us. Nathan grabbed her wrist. Leela, stop. But her voice only grew sharper. No, I will asterisk not asterisk stop. This makes no sense. She adored you. Why would she cut you out like this? Why would she leave asterisk me asterisk nothing? Mr. Carver cleared his throat. If I may, no, she snapped. This is some kind of mistake. Nathan whispered harshly. Leela, asterisk sit down. Asterisk. She sat, but only because her legs seemed to give out beneath her. Hash, asterisk, asterisk, the letter, asterisk, asterisk, Mr. Carver turned to Nathan, offering the sealed envelope. Your mother instructed you to read this now. Nathan stared at it as if it were a burning coal. His hands shook as he accepted it. He slid his thumb under the flap, breaking the seal. He hesitated, then began reading aloud, voice trembling. Asterisk, asterisk, my dear boy, if you're reading this, then I am gone. And you must hear what I could not say aloud. Asterisk, asterisk, Leela's breathing quickened. Asterisk, asterisk, I love you. That will never change. But I cannot pretend I do not see what pain and disappointment you carry behind your eyes. Asterisk, asterisk, Nathan swallowed hard. Asterisk, asterisk, I have watched you drift from kindness, pushed by a woman who celebrates what should be mourned and mocks what should be cherished. Asterisk, asterisk, Leela sucked in a breath as if struck. Asterisk, asterisk, I saw the way she looked at our home as if it were merchandise. I heard the way she spoke of my illness as if it were an inconvenience. I watched her encourage greed in a son I raised to value integrity above all. Asterisk, asterisk, a small sob escaped Nathan, not Leela. Asterisk, asterisk, my dear Nathan, this inheritance is not a punishment. It is a chance to rebuild your character from the inside out, a chance to free yourself from the influence of someone who rejoices at funerals. Asterisk, asterisk, Leela's face drained of color. Asterisk, asterisk, if you lose her because of this letter, do not consider it a loss. Consider it the start of your freedom. All my love, Mom. Asterisk, asterisk, silence fell like a weight. A long, unbearable silence. Then Leela exploded. Hash, asterisk, asterisk, the breaking point, asterisk, asterisk, this is outrageous, she shouted, springing to her feet. How dare she write something like that? How asterisk dare asterisk she judge me? Tears filled her eyes, not of grief but fury. She didn't know anything. She was old and bitter and don't. Nathan snapped, standing abruptly. His eyes were red. His voice cracked. Don't talk about her like that. Leela froze. What? She demanded. Nathan looked at her in a way I had never seen before, like he was truly seeing her for the first time. She was right, he whispered. Tears slid down his cheek. You did celebrate her death. Leela shook her head frantically. No, Nathan, listen. You wore a bright dress. He continued. You said the funeral was like a holiday. You obsessed over her estate while she was dying. You made me into someone she wouldn't recognize. Nathan stepped away from her. And Leela broke. This isn't fair, she cried. You deserve something. We deserve... No, Nathan said quietly. I don't deserve anything. Mr. Carver closed the folder gently. This concludes the reading of the will. Leela let out a choked sob, half fury, half disbelief, and stumbled toward the door. She didn't wait for Nathan. She didn't look at me. She ran. Her heels clicked wildly down the hallway, like a retreating storm. And when the door slammed behind her, Nathan collapsed into the chair and wept. Real soul, deep sobs. The kind his mother would have forgiven instantly. But forgiveness wasn't mine to give. Not yet. The afternoon after the will reading felt strangely quiet. Not peaceful. No, peace was something I hadn't felt since Elena's final breath. But quieter, like the world had taken one long inhale and was waiting to exhale. Nathan sat beside me in the lawyer's office long after Leela's footsteps and sobs had faded down the hallway. He hid his face in his hands, his shoulders trembling. I had seen him cry before, the scraped knee tears of childhood, the frustrated tears of adolescence. But never like this. These were the tears of a man who had seen his reflection clearly for the first time, and didn't like what was staring back. Dad, he whispered, voice hoarse, I messed up. I messed everything up. Mr. Carver excused himself, giving us space. The door shut softly behind him. I placed a hand on the table, not touching Nathan yet, but offering something close to a bridge. You lost your way, I said quietly, but you're still my son. Nathan finally looked up. His eyes were glassy and red. How could I let her influence me like that? How did I become someone who asked about Mom's life insurance while she was still alive? His voice broke. Who does that? He wasn't asking me. He was asking himself, and he hated the answer. She changed you. I said softly. But you let her, he winced. We let the silence stretch. Dad, he whispered, I don't want to be that man anymore. I nodded slowly. Then don't be, choose differently from today onward. He took a shuddering breath. Can I fix it? Can I ever fix what I did? I studied him. And for a moment, I didn't see the greedy husband Layla pushed into selfishness. I saw my boy, the one who picked dandelions for his mother, who cried when his goldfish died, who used to say he wanted to grow up to be like me. Grief softened inside my chest just a little. You can't change the past, I said, but you can honor your mother by changing the future. Nathan nodded, tears slipping down again. We left the office together, moving slowly, like two wounded men trying to find solid ground. # asterisk asterisk, the aftermath of loss and betrayal asterisk asterisk for the next week. Nathan came by every day. Not out of expectation or guilt or greed, but out of something deeper, remorse. He helped clean the garage. Sorted through old photo albums with me, cooked dinner one evening, a disaster of burned rice and undercooked chicken, but the attempt mattered. He apologized more times than I could count, not with grand speeches, but in small, quiet ways. One evening he stood in the doorway of my living room, watching the fading sunlight spill across Elena's rocking chair. She would have loved this light, he said. Yes, I whispered, she would have. He swallowed. I'm sorry, Dad, for all of it. I know, I replied. And I believe you. # asterisk asterisk. What happened to Leela asterisk asterisk? Leela tried to contact Nathan twice. The first time she texted him. Asterisk asterisk. We need to talk. You're making a mistake. Asterisk asterisk. He didn't respond. The second time, she showed up at his apartment door. Mascara running. Her voice cracking as she begged him to reconsider. I was upset, she insisted. I didn't mean anything I said. It was the shock, the disappointment. You know how stressed I've been. He listened. Then closed the door. She screamed, pounded on it, cried, then eventually left. That was the last time he heard from her. She moved out of state, soon after her social media, filled with forced smiles, new outfits, different men, and empty quotes about new beginnings. But sometimes, when she posted late at night, the cracks showed subtle bitterness, vague messages about betrayal, about losing what she deserved. Nathan never replied. He unfollowed her, blocked her number, and slowly, quietly began healing. Hash 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 asterisk asterisk, honoring Elena's wishes, asterisk asterisk, weeks passed. Spring crept in, painting the garden with the colors Elena used to nurture. I found myself sitting outside most mornings, letting the breeze carry memories of her laughter. Then one afternoon, Mr. Carver called again. "Mark," he said, "your wife left a second letter, for you only. She requested I deliver it when you seemed steady. I didn't feel steady, but maybe I looked it." He handed me a small, delicately sealed envelope. My hands shook as I opened it. Elena's handwriting flowed across the page, gentle, familiar, achingly alive. Asterisk asterisk, my love, if you're reading this, then you've walked through fire and survived. I'm proud of you. Asterisk asterisk, my breath hitched. Asterisk asterisk, I left everything to you because you understand the value of love over money. I trust you to decide who deserves help and who must learn hard lessons. Asterisk asterisk, I exhaled slowly. Asterisk asterisk, Nathan may fall, but he will rise again if guided with patience. Do not shield him from consequences. They will shape him, but do not abandon him either. He will need you more than he will admit. Asterisk asterisk, tears blurred the ink. Asterisk asterisk, as for Leela, do not waste another heartbeat on anger. She will reveal her own emptiness in time. Let life teach her. Asterisk asterisk, I let out a choked laugh. How well she knew us all. Asterisk asterisk, and Mark, my heart was at peace knowing you would carry the pieces of me forward. Live, love, and smile for me when you can. Asterisk asterisk at the bottom, her final words. Asterisk asterisk, I loved my life because I lived it with you. Asterisk asterisk, I pressed the letter to my chest and cried for the first time since her funeral, not with the sharp, unbearable grief of loss, but with the tender ache of love that endures. Hash 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 asterisk asterisk, sweet revenge. Bitter lessons asterisk asterisk in the months that followed. I honored Elena's wishes. Asterisk, I helped Nathan not with money, but with guidance, with forgiveness, with expectations he had to meet. Asterisk, I distributed portions of the estate not to those who demanded, but to those who loved Elena selflessly, her sister, her charitable foundations, her closest friends. Asterisk, I kept the house, not as a fortress of grief, but as a sanctuary of memories, and I visited Elena's grave every week. Sometimes Nathan came with me, sometimes he came alone, but every time he brought real flowers, never the cheap plastic ones Leela used to buy, and placed them gently, reverently, the way a son should. Life didn't return to what it was. It became something new, something wiser, something earned, because Elena's final act wasn't revenge. It was truth sharp enough to cut, kind enough to heal, powerful enough to change a life. And as I stood one morning beside her grave, sunlight warming my face, I whispered, "Rest now, my love, your lessons live on."